today, we got a chance to check in with Matt Murphy. He's the president and CEO of Marvell Technology. Please take a look. Matt, I never do this. On August 25th, you had a conference call, and I thought it was great. I looked at the numbers separate. I like to look at the numbers before I hear the conference call to see what I think. I thought they were terrific. And yet, you scared me on your call. You had worried me, because in almost everything, you predicted that things could get worse. I want to do over. After this August 25th call, did the negativity come through, and are you as still concerned that things may not go well?
Gotcha. Actually, it's too bad you heard the call that way. Actually, we were quite positive in the call. If you think about the outlook that we gave for our third quarter, right, we showed sequential revenue growth. Midpoint of the guidance was up 29% year over year. EPS, both in the second quarter and the third quarter we guided, growing faster than revenues. And we actually said also that, the growth drivers that Marvell has in cloud, 5G, and automotive were three of the best opportunities in all of semiconductors.
Absolutely, but Matt, twice you said decline sequentially, sequential decline. You told us about supply constraints. You said there was churn. Then you corrected and said it was on-prem. And my Travel Trust owns it, and I thought it was a terrific quarter, too. I am addressing concerns that you raised that I didn't feel were anything other than what a good executive raises, because I thought the quarter was excellent.
Yeah, I think the way that we have actually built this company is we put all-weather tires on this company. Okay. So the diversification that we have in our end markets, the number of product lines that we have now, all the acquisitions that we've done, we're a very diversified company. So even though some of those subsegments like enterprise, on-prem, data center, you kind of have to drill down sequential. But yet, overall, we said the company is actually up sequentially. So enterprise, as an example, enterprise networking, up very strongly sequentially. This was like double digits plus.
Right, and that's why I thought that people would react not down 10%, which is what the stock did, but up 4 or 5%. That's what we thought for our bulletin when we were putting it out. Was like, okay, we'll probably be up 5. This thing is really amazing. It's a juggernaut. There were some cautionary comments that every executive should make, particularly in light of what we saw with FedEx last week. But okay, I wanted to be sure to look you in the eye and say, I believe things are better, and you're saying it.
Absolutely. Okay. I mean, if you, again, in what we changed about a year and a half ago was we changed the way we report our business.
Yes, you did.
And we used to just have it in these 3 large buckets that really weren't helpful. Storage, networking, other. Okay? And then people really wanted to know, well, what's going on in data center, what's going on in automotive. You can kind of go through all the end markets. So we shifted that after we acquired Inphi. And that provided a lot of transparency to investors. But I said to everybody up front, and I've been on this journey before, the transition from reporting product segments to market segments. It's great for transparency, but it's, especially in supply-constrained environment, it's really difficult to land the plane every quarter by every end market.
Well, I thought that you got there were too much drill down on you for supply constraint. At one point in one of the many conferences you spent, one of the analysts said, how come you're supply constrained and others aren't? I think everybody's supply constrained. It's just that you owned it.
Completely. Well, we were ahead of the curve on that one, by the way. We called it out. And I think also our performance over this cycle has been very consistent. We've had sequential revenue growth for like 2 years straight now. Very consistent increases in earnings per share, revenue growth, operating margin expansion. We never had the huge beats, and we never had the huge misses. And that's what I meant earlier by all-weather tires. Really what we're trying to do, Jim, and the kind of business we're in, we're infrastructure focused. Our consumer is 10%.
Right, and consumer is what dinged everybody and did not ding you.
Because our exposure's low.
Right, I want people to understand that.
And so the market, the end markets are really, they have a big determination on a company's performance, especially in a cycle like this.
Okay, so Qualcomm has a big automotive deal tomorrow, and Christian Armani's very positive on his own business. You have a pristine, fabulous automotive business. How's that doing?
It's doing phenomenal. Even in our most recent quarter, we said that business has continued to double on an annual basis. And what's happening in automotive, so where we play, it's kind of interesting. If you look at Qualcomm or NVIDIA or some of the others, they're doing the brains of the car.
Yes.
Okay. Think of Marvell as the nervous system. Okay. We're the connectivity inside the car, the network. So we work with those big computing companies, right, that are doing self-driving chips and infotainment and things like that. We actually provide all of the connectivity inside the car, which is moving to Ethernet, which is
so
a
that's
proven
giving you annuity.
networking
What
standard.
percentage of the cars currently are doing that versus what you think will happen?
Very small today, and every car company is moving to it as the de facto standard for the in-car network of the future. You have to, because you need the speed, you need the reliability, you need the security, and what on an Ethernet network, you can effectively do what's called multi-drop. So you can have all these different components inside the car on a common network versus today, there's literally hundreds of pounds of cabling
That's fabulous.
connecting all these different ECUs inside the vehicles. We actually make it possible to strip away the cable cost and make the network much more efficient and quick and reliable.
Good annuity stream.
And yeah, and it's all in front of us.
Right. No,
Jim.
one last, we were out at Amazon Web Services this week. It's booming. Okay. You have amazing hyperscaler business, but there was some on-premises you weren't that happy with. You talked about a sequential decline. And that was August. Okay. We're now in the midst of September. I think hyperscaler remains strong, but I want to hear it from you.
Yeah, hyperscale, let's take a step back to 30,000 feet. This is the most exciting, large, long-term secular growth driver for the whole chip industry. Okay, so just set that as the backdrop. For Marvell, it's our biggest end market. Right, as you know, data center is 40+% of our business, with the majority of that being in cloud, not on-prem. That number is going to only increase over time. And what we have that's unique to us is our own unique product cycles, Jim.
Right.
So we've won, and we've articulated this to investors, that we've won actually meaningful new business in cloud-optimized custom silicon, high-performance networking chips like switches, all the optical interconnect from Inphi, the acquisition that we did, plus storage, security. I mean, I can go on and on. We've got like 12 product lines that we sell into the cloud, and all these new ramps are coming, and they're still in front of us.
All right. Well,
starting next year, and then a big increase the year after.
This is what I wanted to hear. Okay,
so that's the long-term view of
more
this. Yeah.
of your stock for my charitable trust, but I needed to look you in the eye.
Yeah.
And it is every bit as good as I think. And the down 10% after reported seems fatuous to me. All right?
The long-term opportunity for this company, Jim, is tremendous, because if you think about the end markets that we participate in, forget about share gain, forget about new product cycle. Just look at the end markets. The markets that Marvell is targeting are growing significantly faster than almost any other set of end markets you can focus on. And we don't have the consumer drag, which is problematic in an environment like today.
Excellent. That's Matt Murphy, President and CEO of Marvell, MRVL. And yes, I get confused sometimes. I thought the stock should have been up. It was down big. I think I'm right. Thank you, Matt. Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Back with you.